Qualifications you need, in terms of coming into the industry, I don't think there's anything in particular you do need. I mean, my degree was in politics, which is basically good for nothing. Some people will do quite specific degrees, sort of risk management degrees or insurance degrees, but I don't think that's necessarily a massive advantage. When you start work, there is a lot of emphasis on achieving the ACII, which is a very well-renowned qualification. So that, working towards that is the main thing, I think.
Seeing as the great majority of us Britons are going to be slogging out 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, until way into our 60s, there doesn't seem to be much point in doing a job from which we derive no enjoyment, is there? What's the best thing about our interviewees' jobs?
The best thing about my job is day-to-day challenge. I love challenges. I love guiding my clients to the right path. I always love seeing my clients walking out of my office with a happy smile on their face and return to my business again for more insurances. And that is what I have achieved in 38 years. In this career, now I'm running 4th generation of the clients that grew up with my business, and that is the best achievement and the best part of my life and my job.
I think the best thing about my job really is the variety. There is no standard day for me. As the MD of the operation, there's always new challenges coming forward. So some days I could be dealing with people issues, sometimes I'm out seeing clients, sometimes I'm seeing insurers who are our suppliers. And I think the best bit is really I have the ability to actually apply the knowledge I've learned. And that's really important for me because it is essential to keep training yourself. It's essential to go on these courses, but it's incredibly frustrating if you have the knowledge and you can't apply it. And I think that's really what I appreciate most in my job, is that I can put into practice what I've learned and actually see the effects of that as time goes on.
Certainly, I think travel is a big thing. I think I've been fortunate to do quite a lot of travelling, and I think anyone who kind of pays you to go overseas and meet lots of people and have some fun, but also obviously work hard when you're there is pretty spot on. I like the sort of sociable aspect of the job as well. Being client facing is definitely something that appeals. Meeting lots of new people and stuff. And
the best thing about the job, I'd say, is that no day's the same, and it's not just a 9-to-5 office-based job. I get to travel, even though it is in the UK. You get to travel, you get to meet some interesting people. It's definitely not a boring job at all. And I think that's what appeals to me most, is I like to meet people. I like the client-facing side of it. I didn't want to ever lose that element from my previous job.
Now, advice on your career is something that most people only have a few minutes of a week when they're 16 as part of the natural curriculum. And some of those we've interviewed have said that it was about as useful as a feather duster in a barroom brawl. So we've asked those already working in the industry what kinds of advice they have for those who are just starting out in the job market.
I think my advice would be to set your sights high, aim for where you want to go. Don't be put off by anybody who says that you can't get wherever you want to go. Or don't be put off by the fact that having a family might apparently set you back. It might change the way that you work, or it might change your career path, but hopefully it will just make it more different and more interesting. And you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
The most important thing is that if you have a background knowledge of business industry, to how to run your business, that is one of the most important things, because within that business industry the law is involved in it. How you can trust your business, how to apply the policies within the law that you have to obey. So that suffices everything.
I think the advice I would give someone coming into the industry is really keep an open mind and think about what it is you want to achieve yourself. Because I think the industry has all the opportunities there for anybody who wants to achieve something. And I think it's trying to do away with the stereotypical view of an insurance man in a grey suit and a bowler hat. That's just not the case at all anymore. Insurance is a fast-moving industry. The global capital markets now mean London at times is awash with money, and that money is therefore used to invest in the insurance industry. So the pace of change means that any graduates wanting to come into the industry will get swept up in that, and that suddenly gives them great opportunities to come forward and develop their career. So I think for someone considering it, it's kind of, don't just read one website, do your research and actually look at all the different parts of the industry as a whole. It's not just about car insurance and home insurance, that's just a fraction of what we actually do.